Hey guys, welcome back. The other day we got these trusses set, all of these big ones, as well as these smaller lean-to trusses over here. So now we're back out here trying to straighten some of this up. The first couple trusses that we put up, we just threw them up there kind of haphazardly just to get them in place so they weren't going to fall down and get them secured. But now I'm going back to these first 2 or 3 bays and trying to actually put the right size boards in so we can start to really square up this far end of the building. So let me take you up real quick, show you what we got going on and how we're going to fix these first couple bays. As you can tell, this building is not traditionally framed. It's framed using a technique called post-frame construction, where you have a foundation that supports posts. Those posts support directly the trusses. The trusses then have what's known as purlins. These purlins are transferring all of the load from one truss to the other. Typically on a more traditionally framed building, you would have your trusses every 16 to 24 inches apart. In our case, these trusses have these little metal cups that are designed to support our 2x6 purlins. Purlins are just some type of framing material that connect from one truss to another. In our case, these purlins are 2x6s, 10 foot long, which means that we're able to space these trusses 10 foot on center. The way we achieve that is we took accurate measurements at the bottom of the truss where it meets the posts on both sides, and then we're going to cut our purlins to exactly that same length all across. What that will achieve is that each of our 2x6 purlins should land directly in the middle of one of these cups for each of the trusses. If we achieve that, by the time this is all done, all of our trusses should be nearly perfectly straight and our building will quickly become square. So that's what we're working on here. There's just the last couple trusses that didn't go in perfectly straight when we got started. So I'm going to pull and push these a little bit so that we can get these purlins to land just in the right spot in the middle of these cups. And then we'll be ready to install all of our purlins en masse. As we're going here, we're noticing these posts are a bit out of square. So what we've done here is we've just ran a long strap from that corner down to this corner, and that really helps us kind of rack this building back into square. So you can see that we're pulling it all just a little bit this direction until these posts are perfectly vertical. This is also kind of helping hold everything tight until we get the roof on and get this stuff really nailed down and locked into place. All right, this is the scariest thing we got going on up here. We got this final truss that we got to lock into place. We've gotten it all secured from the bottom, but it's kicked out just a little bit. So we got to pull these couple screws out, which we've already have our strap here. So it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. But once we let these screws loose, we'll look from back there and we'll eyeball it to make sure it's straight, and then we'll go ahead and lock it in and start dropping our purlins from there. Tell you what, doing that one time will exhaust you for an entire day. Brother, I'm glad that's done. These, since the first couple are already set and we have a lot of flexibility on the end where these posts are, I'm putting some right here in the middle first to make sure it's the right dimension from one to the other, and then we'll just fill it in from there. It makes filling it in really easy as long as you know you're pretty straight from the get-go. We spent a whole lot of time this weekend getting all of these purlins up. I think we put almost 300 up this weekend over just a couple days. But of course we didn't get it finished, just like most things out here. So we got these 2 bays done here on this lean-to, but we still have a couple bays left to go. We've already pre-cut a lot of these purlins, so these just have to go up. And of course the ones on the end, those can run long because we'll cut that off to be even with the fascia. We finally were able to take a lot of our bracing down, which you can really see how big this thing is going to be. And now that we got all these posts up, you can really start to see what the roof is going to feel like. One thing that we are going to have to do though is we're going to have to go back in some of these bays and we have to build a cupola. Now, we'll talk more in the next video about the cupolas, why we're choosing to build them after we already have the purlins up opposed to before, and a lot of places sell them as kits, why we're not using that. But guys, let's jump onto this. Let's see how much of this we can get wrapped up. We've got roofers lined up to come out here as soon as we get the rest of these purlins done. So we really want to get this stuff done as quick as possible so we can get this stuff dried in before these boards start to warp and twist while they're up in the air, really kind of unsupported. So guys, that's about it. We have the purlins on. We have this building mostly squared up. We'll fine tune that in the next video when we're putting this cupola in. But guys, this is going to be a wrap for this one. This is the 100-year-old barn build on our 32-acre property that we're building all by ourselves. Hit the subscribe button if you want to follow along for more. And guys, we appreciate you being here with us as always. We'll see you in the next one.